Hi, welcome to David Tom Creations channel. Today's video is just an overview of my new Korg Monologue monophonic analog synthesizer. And this is my first analog synthesizer because obviously my wave state is digital and so is the Hydrosynth. And I've been looking at getting Monologue XDs, whatever, before, but to be honest, I didn't really want to spend that much, so so I got a real bargain on this from Music Matter, and it was just over £200. And I've got the silver one, and they have the black one and the blue one as well for around about the same sort of price. So it has two VCOs, and you have sawtooth, triangle and square waves, octave shift for VCO2, different waveforms for VCO2. You have saw, triangle and noise. You can also sync the oscillators, and you've got ring modulation as well. And you've also got two shape buttons. So you've got shape for VCO1, shape for VCO2, and then you've got a master drive button, master volume button. And then you have volumes for VCO1, VCO2. You have filter cutoff and resonance. It doesn't really have any much in the way of effects. So basically, you have attack and decay, and an LFO, and that is it. So you kind of are losing out a bit on that over things like the Monologue and the XD. But I mean, obviously, this is based on the Monologue. The Monologue came out first, and then they brought out this, and then the Monologue XD, which is quite a bit different. So this uses you've got three attack types and three wave types for the LFO. So you've got attack delay, attack gate delay, and then gate for the decay, and then you've got an intensity control for those two, and an intensity for the LFO. And you also have saw, triangle and square for the LFO, and a fast and a slow and a one shot for the LFO as well. And then the target for the attack delay can either go to pitch 1 and 2, pitch 2, or the cutoff. And then the LFO goes to either pitch 1 and 2, shape 1 and 2, or cutoff. And then you have a tempo for the sequencer control, and a key trigger hold button for the sequencer as well. You also have a little tiny LED knob for going through the presets, and then a small edit, right, exit part, and then the sequencer, which has play, record, rest, and the shift button. And the sequencer also has either note, slide, or motion, and you can record 4 lanes of motion into each preset as well. And this is the master octave basically button control for from the Monologue, but you can assign that to a whole raft of things as well via the program edit. Now, this battery operated, it comes with batteries. There's no PSU, so it comes with 6 batteries, and I've no idea how long they would last, but probably not very long if other equipment is anything to go by. We have so the first thing I did was order a PSU, and I'll show you that later on. So basically, it has the DC power supply, which is 9 volt. This is the power button. You've got USB for connecting to the Monologue app, which is the sound librarian. You've got MIDI out in, sync out in, you've got audio in, you've got your single output, and you've got your headphone jack. And this is solid wood, the same as the Monologue. And that is it. So it is very very simple and really good fun. And to be honest, the best thing about it, and one of the reasons I got this, was it has a very, very good sequencer, and this is kind of, I think, better than the sequencer on the Minilogue, and it has the same kind of design as they took on to the XD, where you actually got all 16 buttons. Here, where on the Minilogue you only have 8, so this is a lot easier to see and control, and it really is probably one of the best things about it. It has 25 keys, which are quite playable for this, and it is metal construction. I mean, it's quite light just because it's so small, but it is metal and kind of a plastic case. And as you might have noticed, the keys are not in the normal scale. And apparently they did this, so it starts off with E. It's something to do with bass playing anyway. But I'm not really quite sure why they did that, because it's a keyboard. So why not just start it at C? I don't know. Anyway. So that's a bit odd, but to be honest, it doesn't really make an awful lot of difference because you're only playing one note at a time anyway. So it doesn't really. I haven't really found it to be an issue, but it's just a wee bit odd. So basically, you've got like one full octave. So that is it. I'll power it up, get this connected up to Logic, and so you can hear it, and we will carry on from there. Right, that's me got this set up now. So I'm connected through the old Focusrite 18i8, and I've got my power supply, and you can see that's the sequencer. So each, just before I forget, each preset comes with a sequence, and there are 100 slots, so it comes with 80 presets, 20 inits. So I've already done a few, but I will be spending a bit more time doing that, and we'll put a few on the store for free. So anyway, like I said, you've got your little oscilloscope here, and as you probably know, that some of the patches were created by Aphex Twin, and the first one is one of those. So you can see you've got your waveform. You've got your main octave. And then you've got octave for VCO2. And the pitch. So yeah, like I said, you've got your 3 waves there, 2 waves in noise, and we can sync them up or have ring modulation as well. I'll just play the first, well, not the first patch, but the second patch, which is the one that I quite like. So I'll just. So, like I said, you can assign this to a lot of items, pretty much anything really, cutoff, shape, VCOs, anything you want. So most of the time I've been changing it to, so for instance, if we go into Program Edit, and I think the second one is Slider Assign. So it's on pitch bend at the moment. And then you just turn this, so you've got gate time, VCO1 pitch, VCO1 shape, VCO2 pitch, VCO2 shape, VCO1 level, VCO2 level, cutoff, resonance, the intensity for the attack decay, and either the attack or the decay, the LFO rate, the LFO intensity, and portmanteau. So, like I said, pretty good. So most of the time I'm just changing it to doing the cutoff. But it always kind of defaults to pitch bend. And it tells you in the app as well, which is quite handy. It saves you going into this. If you've got the app up, it'll tell you, right, that's it. There we go. So yeah, so it tells you in this for each patch. So for instance, this is injection, and it's using a saw wave, triangle, and the slider assigned is pitch bend, and the micro tuning is equal temp. And you can see that you can also change the micro tuning as well. And there's a micro tuning tab for this as well. So it's quite cool. And like I said, you can just scroll through these, and like I said, you can just double click and rename them. So this is quite good to see what's actually controlling, and well, what waves you're using, and also what is the slider assigned to. So that is quite a handy thing to have on to have that up on screen, I think, when you're working. Anyway, so I will just play this and show you the sequencer. So you can just adjust the tempo. And you can see this has obviously got all the notes assigned to it. And if we go to motion, you can see, if you can see, I'll zoom in on this. There's 2 of the 4 tracks being assigned, using motion sequencing as well. And you can clear that quite easily if you want. You can just use the edit mode and clear any of the existing motion sequencing. So yeah, so basically you can just switch these off and on. And then just you can just play about with it. So add a bit of driving. Well, you can see it is very easy to use, and like I said, you've got really easy access to all of these sequencer buttons, unlike the mini log. So yeah, so that is kind of the gist of the monologue. Like I said, it is really simple and probably like a really good first synth, you know, if you want to, because, well, not only because of the price, but because it's really easy to use, and it does actually sound great because the adjusted the VCOs for the mono, so it's not the same VCOs that are on the Minilog. Like I said, if you go to INIT, so if you go say program 99, you get that sound, which is, but it has this cool feature which is called panel load function. So if you hold shift and press play, it will say load panel, and what it's done is it's loaded the current positions of all the knobs, so you actually get a more, you know, like more of a kind of starting point, which is quite a cool idea. I'm not sure of anything else that I've seen or heard about that has that kind of function, but yeah, so that's quite cool. So you can just start off from there, and then, you know, will sync up to Sawtooth. We'll bring in a bit of the LFO. We'll put it onto Sawtooth as well. So yeah, so I said we can put that down. So yeah, nice. You get some really nice grungy sounds. I'll just go over the sequencer. So you can either have like play mode, where you can just play in the notes, or you can go to step sequence mode. So it'll come up with step 1, and it'll just tell you that there's nothing there. So if you go through, there's nothing there. So if you press on that, and if you press a key, it'll come up saying that's F sharp 1, and then it'll go to the next key. So you could press A sharp 1, and then if you want to rest, you just hit rest, goes on to the next one. So we'll have 2 rests, and then we'll play G sharp, D sharp, C sharp, and then rest, and then we'll go back to F, and then rest. So that's it. So yeah, so pretty easy, and you can also do slides as well. You can put in slides. So if we and then you've got motion recording as well, and it will record in that. So we could adjust the. Let's just see. What will we do? Just the cutoff. Right, so there we go. That's 2 lanes recorded already. So we go back to note. So yeah, dead simple. And if you want to clear that, we go to sequencer edit, press what is it, step? So you got your BPM, your step length. Third one is clear. It says all clear execute, and you go press right, all clear. And if we exit that, there is no motion data and there is no notes. So yeah, so like I said, really easy, a really well kind of thought out sequencer, and better than a lot more expensive ones as well. So yeah, so that I said that is one of the reasons I got it, because I'm going to hook this up with the TRAS and get that kind of going, so I can just have sequences playing. So I'll give you a quick demo of. So these are some presets that I've done. I've only done 4, and I've done a few sequences as well. So so I'll play a couple more of. Well, actually, I'll play a bit. Yeah, so this has got motion sequences on it, which is so this is quite cool. So yeah, so using Valhalla Supermassive with this and mucking about with some of the presets is pretty cool. So that's probably my favourite one to date, actually. So yeah, so I'll just whack through some, and if you want to, you can just hold Shift and it'll go in tens. Nice solo there. Well, I wasn't expecting that. That is quite high, isn't it? So like I say, it's very, very, very good fun. What I was going to do was show you the PSU that I got. Hang on, I'll switch this off and turn that down. And just unplug that. Yeah, so like I said, it doesn't come with anything apart from the batteries. So what I actually got was a multi-voltage one, and as you can see, the lights, it's got a little light on it there as well. So yeah, so you can actually change the voltage, because unfortunately, I mean, I've obviously got other PSUs. Yeah, I've got other PSUs, but unfortunately they were either the wrong voltage or the wrong connection. So this has got this comes with hang on, I'll move that out of the way. This comes with a whole raft of connections. So yeah, so you get all these different connections. And you get a little key for adjusting the voltage. So this is 9 voltage, 9 voltage, 9 volts, and it is 12 volts. So it's worked perfectly well. And I'll leave a link for this in the description. And I got it from Amazon, and it was about £11, which I thought was, well, half the price of the official Korg one. And obviously I can use this with lots of other things, if for instance one of my other PSUs. So you've got all sorts of different sizes. So out of the two, so you get 2 yellow ones, so it's the smaller of the 2 yellow ones that you need for this, and that just comes apart like that. So you've got like a bit like a kind of Christmas tree thing. It just plugs in there. It's got like a square bottom, and then that's it. And like I said, you've got a little power light as well, just in case, because you don't want to leave it switched on. So it comes with all these. I mean, God knows what some of these are for. I mean, that is no idea. But you never know. And it also comes with, which is quite handy, a micro USB. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame they didn't have USB-C as well, but never mind. On the batteries yet, but we'll see. I will probably just kind of keep them in. And just play around with it sometimes with batteries and headphones, and just see how long they actually last. And I can always add that in later, because it doesn't say normally. Like for instance, my Hydrosynth can be battery operated as well. I mean, for no reason really, because it's that in heavy, you're not going to carry it around. But anyway, and they say that it's going to last like 3 or 4 hours. So this should last at least twice as long as that, if not more, considering what the Hydrosynth is doing and the number of screens it's got, etc., etc. So yeah. So anyway, but like I said, I would just get one of these, universal charger, AC/DC, and problem solved. So yeah. So kind of quick, kind of outro to this video, because it's probably gone on long enough. Basically, I'll do a kind of like pros and cons. So pros for me is the size of it. I mean, it's really good size for getting on, like, because I've got quite a lot of, I don't have a lot of space for all my gear when I'm recording, so I've kind of seemed to have got rid of most of my big keyboards. So this is quite good. I can get it hooked up with the with either the Wave State or my TRS or the Hydrosynth, whatever, and I've got plenty of room to record it. The other thing is the design. I mean, obviously I like the design of the Monologue, and it is, as you can see, squarely based on the design of that, and I really like the silver one in particular. It's got a really nice kind of finish to it, and the kind of wooden bit. That said, the sequencer is definitely probably the best thing about it, and the fact that it's analog, and the price. I mean, like I said, just a smidge over £200, whatever that is in euros and dollars, I don't know, but it's cheap is the upshot of it. It's very cheap for anything analog, and never mind it's something that sounds as good as this. And you know, I mean, some of the presets aren't great, but that is not really a problem, because there's loads of other ones available. I mean, even just to download from, there's loads of free packs on the Korg's website as well, and I'll maybe leave a link to those, which I've downloaded and tried some of them. There's kind of all sorts of, I think it's about 4 packs that you can download for free. So yeah, so there's loads of other presets as well that you can use. So the things I don't like is probably this. It just feels a bit, I mean, I know it's taken from the Monologue, but obviously they changed this on the XD, and I just feel as though, you know, a joystick would have been better. I mean, you know, they've got joysticks on the, you know, loads of other Korg. So anyway, and the key layer it's just daft. Well, I don't know why they did it anyway. So that's kind of a bit annoying. And actually one of the biggest problems is, which I haven't really mentioned, is the knobs. There's no color on the knob. So if I show you my Wave State, you can see that obviously the black knobs have got white and the white have got black, right? So, but why have they not done anything on here? Like, you can't see it. If you were using this in the dark, you wouldn't be able to see. I mean, you can even barely feel that ridge of the kind of mark for the, and it, you know, if they were infinite, it wouldn't matter, you know what I mean? Like, so obviously that's not got anything. It wouldn't matter if they were infinite, but they're not. They go from 0 to, you know, 10, whatever. So yeah, so that is. I mean, I honestly actually feel like having to, like, I'm going to put a bit of white paint or something in there so I can actually see it better. But I mean, that just might be my crappy eyesight as well. I don't know. But I think other people have mentioned something about that as well in some of the reviews. It's just odd. I don't know if you can get replacement. I might actually see if you can get replacement knobs for it. And apart from it, well, and the last thing is that you don't get a power adapter. I mean, considering they charge them 20 quid for an official Korg one, that is a bit steep, I think. So the first thing you really have to do is order one of them. If you're ordering this, just order that at the same time. And I would recommend Amazon for half the price, because it seems to work fine. So that's just an odd thing. I mean, yeah, you get batteries with it, but you know, most of the time I'm working in the studio. I'm not working in a field somewhere that I haven't got power. So yeah, but you know, overall, I think there's very few cons, and some of them are just probably my OCD. Right, so that is it for today. If you are enjoying these videos, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.